Hello everyone, welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. Join me in another ill-fated adventure into Strixhaven. Just gonna keep throwing away gems. What is this? Exponential growth. On a trample creature, this can actually do a lot for like 8 mana, which is a thing that happens fairly often. Like you get to 8 mana in this format, and if you do, it's like multiply target creature's power by 8, and then like even a 3/3 with trample, like for example a Moldering Karok can swing in for like 24 trample. Pretty cool. So I think this is a situational card, but it can work very well. Decisive Denial is decent removal. Fondrix Cultivator, I think, is pretty good. Pledge Mage is okay, but I'm not going to first pick it. I think it's even good. So I think it's between these first 4 cards, but not Snakeskin Veil, basically. Let me look up how those are. I'm a little disappointed to see exponential growth rated so low. But, okay, it is rated not very good, so that's fine. In which case, I think it's probably the Cultivator, right? Decisive Denial is fine. Pretty good removal, decent counter. Where's my... I lost my draft guide already. Hello? I didn't close it, did I? Where did it go? Oh, it's over. Okay. Cultivator is quite good. Decisive Denial is pretty good also, but not as good. Alright, we'll take the Cultivator then. And there's a fair number of decent Quandrix cards in this pack. I guess there is some risk that a bunch of people will think they should go Quandrix for that reason, but I don't really think so. The best card in this pack after I pass it probably is Decisive Denial. So the person to my left might be headed towards blue-green, but we can just try to discourage them after that. And, you know, red-blue, there's some decent stuff in here. I don't know. We'll see. Sedgemoor Witch. Pretty good black card, I believe. Strategic Planning. I mean, it's like a worse opt that's better if you have Graveyard Synergy. Tend the Pests is okay. I think I just take Sedgemoor Witch. Yeah, it's actually rated great. So, we'll see. If I had to hazard a guess, maybe Righty is playing red, but we don't have a lot of evidence one way or another, really. They just took whatever the rare was, so yeah, that's silly. I shouldn't. Or is this rare? It is. That's yellow. It's hard to tell the yellow from the white for me. But that's the rare. So they took something even better than Sedgemoor Witch in the uncommon slot? What could that even be? I don't know. We'll take the Sedgemoor Witch. Okay. I guess the Shadewing Laureate's okay. Environmental Sciences keeps us open. We don't really know yet what colors we're going for. This would commit us a little bit more to black and white. I think we're not really committed. We're just like staying open. If we get good black and white stuff, then great. I haven't passed much good black or white stuff to lefty. So the fact that we're getting this from the right suggests we might get a bunch of it. Let's try. Inkling Summoning's okay. You know, Tend the Pests is okay, but not really my colors. Eureka Moment if we wanted to try going back to green-blue, but I think that just Inkling Summoning or maybe a Campus to keep us open to green-blue. Maybe I'll just take a lesson. Spectre of the Fens is playable. Duress is not my favorite card. Take the Poet. So far we're like black. We're not really black-white yet. We have one white card. The boots are greedy. It would be nice on the Sedgemoor Witch, of course. You can even put it on something that already flies, and it's like, you know, a nice effect. I feel like the draft guide is going to tell me that Lumimancer is better than Zephyr Boots. But I don't really have a lot of instants and sorceries yet, in the sense that I have 0. And this goes well with like my theme of wanting stuff to fly so far. Mage Hunter is pretty good. Professor's Warning is okay. Study Break can be good, but I don't think I'll take it. Give me a Mage Hunter. I didn't realize Spectre of the Fence only cost 4. I thought it was... I guess I got its casting cost confused with its ability cost, which I remembered was 5 in a black. Exhilarating Elocution or Star Pupil, I think, are the picks. I'll just take Star Pupil to try not to die early. Solar Quill Apprentice looks pretty good. Okay. Pennant is kind of funny, but not really what I want. We got a Study Break after all. Take it for now. What are you? Oh boy. 5 mana, 4/4, Flying Trample. Double the number of counters on a creature you control. When it attacks, you know, base power and toughness of other creatures become equal to this creature's number of... Oh, man. Well, I have some Quandrix cards. I think I probably ought to, like, try and pivot here. Yeah, there was still some decent Quandrix stuff coming to me, wasn't there? Maybe not. Why does this one not light up when I mouse over it? It's this look. Something to do with that position on the screen, because when I do this, I do get that card. I can get it, but like stuff here doesn't exist somehow. Huh. I mean, gosh. Just how good is this? Oops, searching the... I spelled it wrong? Tanazir. Second best card in the set, huh? I mean... So suppose that I tried to run that. What would I be doing? I'd be cutting, like, all of this. Maybe keep the boots. And what I would have would be... a big play. And a cultivator. Maybe this archivist. And, like, maybe some artifacts. And how good are the black-white cards that I'm cutting? I mean, Sedgemoor Witch is very good. Could I try to run black as well? And cut the white? My black stuff is all sort of expensive. Maybe that would be playable. Well, no, these arrogant poet as well. And I kind of want ways to add counters to things, which are in black and white. I'm going to take this. Right, the Laureate is kind of the best combo I have for that, but... There's no way I can run 4 colors, I don't think. I don't have... like... There's not a lot of fixing in this format. And if I just wanted to stay away from this and draft, like, stick in my black-white lane, what would I be taking? Professor of Symbology is pretty decent. Not as good as any. Well, it's actually still quite good. Okay, I think I have to not do this. I think it's just too crazy to cut a bunch of good cards from my deck for like one good card when there's already something totally playable here. Another Silver Quill Apprentice, or maybe... Oh, no, just some removal. Village Rites? Or another Mage Hunter, or a Pledge Mage. Oh, Inkling Summoning should be over here, of course. I think a Mage Hunter is probably best. I don't know. We get value from Village Rites fairly often, I feel like. You know, opponent removes something, in response you sack it and draw 2 cards. I think the Mage Hunter is better overall. I don't know. There's a fair amount of blue-green going by, making me wish maybe I had picked up the Quandrix thing. I could take Expel or Inkling Summoning. I think I just want, like, Inkling Summoning. Yeah. Approach of the Second Sun. This is an alternate win condition. I've never been offered a chance to draft this. I don't know if it's actually good. It's rated as, like, quite good as a first pick. I don't really like have what you want with this card is a bunch of sustain and draw, right? So you can like stay alive. I don't think it's realistic to like spend 7 mana doing nothing and then 7 turns from now win the game. It can happen sometimes, but I don't really have a deck that does that. I'm inclined to just take another Spectre of the Fens, but maybe that's overloading on 4-drops. And I should take, like, Study Break. Yeah, another Study Break. I have a few things to learn. Do I? Yeah, I have 2 Inkling Summonings. And tapping their stuff helps me stay alive. I guess it is true that I have like a Study Break in my deck, which can maybe help me stay alive. Like, and then maybe you could play Approach of the Second Sun. I don't think that's very realistic, though. I feel like I'm doing okay in terms of like mid-range creatures. Yeah, give me just another Study Break. Harness Infinity, no thanks. Pilgrim of the Ages, I think it's pretty good. I badmouthed it in the past, and then I took it once, and it was like kind of great. More Professors of Symbology. Okay. I have a lot of learn cards. Maybe starting to be time to take more lessons. None on offer at the moment. I guess just a cram session. Guiding Voice is okay. Like, Revitalize is not so great. Dusk Mage to work with the Guiding Voice and other counter activators. We got the Village Rites back. That's interesting. I don't really know that I want this. But obviously it's the only thing I could possibly run here. How am I doing in terms of like non-flying creatures? I think the boots are fine. Whatever, I'll take it for now. Academic Probation, 2 mana lesson. I don't think this is very good. Leonin Lightscribe, I believe, is quite good, though. Right? Yep. Semester's End. Never even seen this card. 4 mana. Exile any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers you control. At the beginning of the next end step, return each of them to the battlefield under its owner's control. Each of them enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature, an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker. So you play this like in somebody's second main, probably your opponent's, and you get a bunch of creatures back. Now, it's not so good if you have like enchantments or counters on your stuff already. Yeah, I'm inclined to think it's not so great for me. It does kind of like dodge removal or something. If opponent is going to remove one of your things, then you bounce it and then any number of other cards. I bet I'm going to look and it's going to be like, it's okay. Yes, it is a solid playable right in the middle of that category. There's stuff here that I'm more interested in, namely these two. I think Show of Confidence is a little bit like optimistic. But Thunderous Orator is just fine. Totally decent card. Combat Professor is fine. Silver Quill Campus is maybe better. Just to be able to occasionally have a little scry. But no, I think the Combat Professor is actually bananas. Another Pilgrim or a Campus. Or Novice Dissector. It's a little questionable. I don't think we need the boots anymore. Pilgrim of the Ages, I guess, is okay. I have my doubts about these Mage Hunters. I think Dissector, Pilgrim, and Campus are all okay. No, Dissector sucks. I don't have any stuff to sacrifice to it. I mean, nothing that I'm excited. Obviously, I can like sack a 1/1 or something. You know, this guy, the Star Pupil, wouldn't mind. So do I want Pilgrim of the Ages? I don't think I need that much like mana draw. I still have mostly fairly cheap cards. Let's just take a Campus. The Shield Mage for some top end, or a Malice? Or, of course, a Spectre of the Fens, but I don't really want that. I think I'll just take a Shield Mage. Several Quill. I mean, these are some solid cards. Do I need draw? I don't think so. I have the Dusk Mage and the Village Rites. Probably enough. And nothing especially amazing to draw to, so no Crushing Disappointment, thanks. In which case, Star Pupil or Silver Quill Apprentice? I don't have much that really cares about counters. I guess just the Silver Quill Apprentice is fine. Shadewing Laureate looks amazing. Yep, we'll take it. Take a lesson. I have quite a lot of learning. This does not, it's not a very good lesson, but, you know, exiling something for, not exiling, but like effectively disabling something for a turn is probably kind of cool. Sometimes. Huh, Unwilling Ingredient, I guess, is okay. I need to cut some things. I do feel like the Mage Hunters have not really... I don't know, somehow I didn't wind up with enough removal. Like, the Study Breaks, I think, are pretty good. But the Mage Hunters just aren't really doing enough, is my opinion. And we can take an ingredient or... I mean, a Show of Confidence would be fun. I have a few cheap instants, but not really all that many. I guess it would be fun to, like, study break and then show of confidence, maybe. You know, if I were really lucky, I could get a guiding voice in as well, or a professor's warning. But I think just having another 1-drop is cool. Or another Spectre? Yeah, probably another Spectre. We need a little bit heavier stuff. This is a great pickup here. I don't really have room for more stuff in my deck, but there's always room for more lands, just like Jello. Children of the Ages. Probably something I can get rid of for that. I have an awful lot of 2-drops. I could cut one Silver Quill Apprentice. They haven't been that amazing, in my opinion. Yeah, and I don't have that many non-creature spells, really. Okay. I once again am not really inspired by this deck. It has a few good cards, but I don't think the card quality is overall amazing. Does it have some amazing synergies? Like, I just kind of try to play some flyers and hope they die, basically? And tap them if they have a way to block all the flyers? Now, was there anything that I shouldn't have cut that I want back? No, definitely not. Yeah, alright, well. I think 17 lands is totally fine with this deck. It's chosen more white instead of more black, which looks right to me. Okay. Matchup coming any second now. One would hope. There we go. It's my good old friend, Chuckles Rules? Kind of an odd spelling, not sure what to make of it. This is not my favorite, but I at least have a 3-drop. And some pretty good creatures, you know, it must be said. I just don't know what to do with... Oh, you could target 0 creatures and learn. Very funny. Quandrix. I always feel like I get crushed by Quandrix, even though I don't think they're, like, super amazing. Maybe they are super amazing. Come on, just... I was having trouble clicking the card I wanted to play. I'd love a land. Combat Professor. Wow. Opponent just, like, playing an Archway Commons. What a... Oof. They must have some giant stuff in this deck. What are you? Wow, that's a strong effect. Okay, I guess. I mean, they have some serious value in that card. Is it value what they need? We shall see. I wish I had more swamps, obviously. Okay, you're doing something to remove that, I suppose. Yeah, wish I had a black, by the way. You know, just like I was saying, I wish I had more swamps. This is one of several reasons. Oh my gosh, all this life gain and card draw. I mean, there's nothing I can do about your stupid creature right now. Would I remove it if I drew a swamp? Maybe. Probably. Cards. I don't know. Huh. It's a sorcery, so it doesn't really do much, I think. What are my lessons? 2 Inkling summonings. Reduce to memory? Huh. Yeah, maybe I do just tap this to learn and draw, like, reduce to memory to give them a 3-2 instead of this. I don't know. I think you can just, like, have fun with all your stinking cards, you jerk. But I can't spend much mana unless I do this. And... yeah, okay. It's just 1 creature. And rather than turning off their thing, I just want Inklings. But I'll play them next turn. Well, wait a minute, no. This guy doesn't do anything. I had this like, oh, I'll play him first, but like, no, he does nothing. Okay. Opponent is drawing a lot, and yet they somehow only have 4 lands down. They have drawn so many cards off of this thing. It only looks like 2, or 3, I guess. Yes, now 3. But that's a lot. This would be number 4 if they wanted to use it. Just ramp more, okay. Well, that's a good way to make use of all your cards, sure. Excuse me, I'm just dying. 1 day at a time like everyone else. Alright, that's 1 blocker. Good work. If I draw a swamp, then I can kill that thing and win? No, I only have 4 face damage. Flying damage. Alright, let's swing with everything. Oh, 5, I guess. Yeah, let's swing with everything and see what happens. I assume they're finally losing the Archmage here to my 2-1. And chumping the 0-2 into one of my flyers. After which we should have the board. Bury in books. Okay, that's pretty good. Resolve? Resolve? Nothing I can do about it. Resolve? Blockers, please? Blocking the 2-1. I get in for 7? Okay, I guess I'll just play the Arrogant Poet then. instead of using my black mana to keep the 2/1 alive. I guess it makes sense that they had the Symmetry Sage block the Inkling. I was thinking they wanted to stop as much damage as possible, which means blocking this, but sure. That only blocks 1 more damage, and it leaves me with a 2/1 on board, so clearly what they did was better. Ah, what is this? I draw a card, but they exiled my flyer. Okay. Another Plains, naturally. Wouldn't do to give me a swamp, would it? Still, I shouldn't complain. I have lethal on board. We'll see what they come up with. I represent 6 damage, and in fact I have a little bit more. This can fly, this can deal 2, and then I have some stuff in my hand that might do something. But probably not. Probably I just represent 6 damage, and we'll see if they can live with that. They are running black as well, so that explains the Archway Commons, I guess. Oh, which we found out, I guess, because the card they exiled me with was black. Okay, yeah, that's Desperation, obviously. Concession coming any second now. Oh, Cram Session, yeah, that was green. Good game. You sure have a lot of hand, though. Well done on that. I feel like if they had just had more removal, like I don't know what they were doing with all of the card draw they were playing. They were kind of just gaining life, I guess. Right, the 2 Cram Sessions basically, and this was some removal and some life gain. That was nice. But the rest they were just like drawing Cram Sessions. I don't know. And then learning, I don't even remember what they learned. I guess I could have looked, but I didn't. So. Jack the Bolt. This is fine. Maybe. I guess I don't have any plays at all. And the best I can hope for would be like a turn 3 Dusk Mage. Maybe this is not fine. I was like, yeah, I have 2 white and some cheap white cards, but the white cards don't do anything. Okay, this has got to be a lot better. Dump the Study Break, maybe? Or is that too greedy and I should dump the Village Rites? Let's dump the Village Rites. I may not be able to activate it, whereas like Study Break should be activatable pretty much all the time. And I'm never sad to make Inklings. Unless they're red-blue, and then I kind of am. Excuse me. I guess I just attack and do nothing? Kind of wish I had environmental sciences right now. I'd like a 4th mana for this. But I think this is a way to make sure I draw at least something playable, some Inklings. Kind of weird that they're red-white and haven't played anything on turn 3. Okay. Don't need the Inklings as it turns out. Not yet, anyway. Imagine if I kept Village Rites instead. Wouldn't that be sad? I couldn't draw because I wouldn't... Well, I don't know. I could make you, maybe. Nope. That's a good card. That's a really good card. I could swing with the Star Pupil to put a counter on my Inkling, maybe? Actually, wait, why didn't I put it on this? I was so focused on doing this after combat, I didn't even consider playing it before. Then I could, well, this kind of spreads my threats around. Maybe maybe I should have attacked with the Inkling. I don't know. I'm worried about combat tricks. I like... Okay, wouldn't matter. Yeah, I'm putting the counter on the Inkling turned out great. Because otherwise I'd have a 3-4 here, and they would have one large threat and one like nothing threat. They just removed the large threat. Here with 2 medium threats, I'm at least left with a medium threat. I don't like the looks of this. I can't risk losing my Fen Strider or whatever this is. Spectre of Fens. What game is Fen Strider from? Is it a Hearthstone card? No. It's a custom Hearthstone card that someone made up. Huh. Where did I come up with Fen Strider? Yeah, that's a cool effect for sure. No blocks again. Some combat trick to buff this, I suppose. Yep. At least it's only one counter. Are you gonna just kill me? No. Okay. I mean, this could be a 2/2 Vigilant Flyer. Could also be a blocker. It's tempting to swing in for 4. by flying and then play this. But it puts me in a lot of danger, I think. I think I just use this effect. And attack for 2? I guess that'll do it. I could have played this and then this wouldn't have worked. I don't know. They still had a lot of cards though. And Fenstrider is a card or a thing from World of Warcraft apparently, but I've never played that. I don't know where I would know anything about it. Huh, I don't know. Seems great. Start with the real creature instead of the symbology professor, presumably. Yeah, it can become a flyer, which is cool. I'll play the black first so that... Well, it doesn't matter. I won't need double black until 4 mana anyway, so we might as well not let them know that I'm running black. One of those little things that I just can't imagine matters, but oh wow. Could I play this instead? Is there a reason for that? Not especially. I want to make sure this gets flying, and maybe I'm doing something other than playing a flyer on turn 4 if I play this, so... I mean, if they had no 2-drop, then playing this was kind of free and isn't that nice for them, I guess. What are you? 3/3, Vigilance Trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, you can return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, I don't want that. And yet, I don't really have to do anything about it right at the moment if I don't want to. However, like, I think it's a perfectly fine thing to remove. I have 4 mana. This is a good way to spend it. Get out of here, you jerk. I don't want to risk some, like, big creature coming back somehow in the future if I don't find time to remove it. I could learn here. I think... Oh, this learns and also plays a creature. That's obviously way better. I think we just want Inklings, presumably. Could take Reduce to Memory in case they get a real creature. But I have Study Break for that. I can just tap whatever they try to do something with. Ah! How humiliating. They're looking at me undressed. I'm not sure about your choice to remove that instead of the Study Break, actually. The Study Break draws Inklings anyway. Well, I guess they don't know that. And they didn't want me to make another flyer. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it helps this fly as well. Okay. That's kind of cool because it threatens to start flying when you cast an instant and then block one of my flyers. But I have 4 things with 2 attack. You can only block 2 of them. Okay. So we're not attacking here. I might as well play the planes. Who knows what I'll need it for. No. I can't possibly need more than 1 land next turn. You can't summon any Inklings, though. No blocks. So if I attack with 5, you can only block with 2, and any... with 3, and any 2 of these kill you. Nice card. If this is an instant that does something relevant, you can survive. On 2 mana. Nope, it doesn't. Oh, you should have given it lifelink. Then you actually could have lived. I'd get in with both flyers, but you would gain life at the same time you lost it. Right? That works. MPG, lifelink, timing. Life gain happened at the same time as damage dealt. Yeah. That's what I thought. So that was a blunder, I think. Well, definitely. They died when they could have not died. That's kind of the biggest blunder there is. And I think they would have been in an okay position if they had not made that blunder, even. Because they would have 4 life, and I'd have like 2 creatures. But they wouldn't have many creatures either, and I could play the Fen Strider and start tapping it. Not tapping, but, you know, activating it. I don't know. History. Before it was keyworded, lifelink used to be called Spirit Link. Before the rules changed in 2010, lifelink was a triggered ability and it used the stack. Okay. So way back then, the trick I proposed wouldn't have worked. But for the last 12 years, it has worked. Decent. I have a 2-drop, and I have 2 2-drops, and a spell, and solid mana, and eventually a 4. Yeah. Second Spectre. It's not really the card you want 2 of. Like, I guess it can be fine if you just need a flyer. Black, white. I don't know which of my 2-drops to play, honestly. Let's play Symbology. Pick up Inklings again. I guess maybe I should have played this because I more want to put a counter on a flyer than on just an Earthbound 2-1. But I kind of thought since they're black-white, they're not going to care that much about whether my stuff flies. Turns out they have some green as well, so maybe they would. I don't know. More Inklings. And this way it does spread out my threats a bit more so that they have kind of two medium things to deal with, as I talked about in the last game. Okay. Sure. I'm kind of thinking I just swing with all and land a Professor's Warning if they block. That seems good. I think they should block, because otherwise I just get, like, they know I can just play Inklings for decent value. Obviously I'm broadcasting pretty loudly that I have a combat trick. Okay, cool. Well, this would have been a really cool bluff if I didn't have one, but I did. Yikes. Combat Professor's a bit scary. I think you should have attacked. I was tapped out, right? You could have just gotten in 3 damage for free. They don't have enough mana to really threaten much, I think. I guess they could have a Professor's Warning as well. I don't want to use this anyway. I want to keep my Professor's Warning available for their turn. I could play the Star Pupil, but it just doesn't do much. I wonder how they're planning to win. Just like... They just keep letting in 3 damage, and then... Like, Spectre of the Fens, they'll eventually die. I'm not blocking here. I'm not going to spend my Professor's Warning on combat. I want it as a reaction to removal. Maybe this attack was reckless. I don't know. We'll see. I suspect that for 6 mana they can deal with a Professor's Warning, but I'm going to wait until they've played their combat trick. I'm happy to just trade. Okay. It resolves. Do I want to spend this to make a 3-2 is basically the thing I can choose to do by making this indestructible. I guess it's not very good to do that. I want to have it available. Well, no, but I was just saying if they attack, I'm not blocking. Alright. You can have it. What are you even thinking about? This is exactly what you set up for, isn't it? I feel like my main asset in this game was that they were choosing to let me bop them with a 3-2 for no reason. That thing got in like 6, maybe 9 damage? I don't remember. Not no reason. They were scared of a combat trick, and then they finally had one of their own, and then they traded. It's not like it was a bad play, necessarily, but it was kind of an unexpected boon for me. I think they probably don't attack. I don't really need both of these. And just in case what they have is like a buff, I'll throw the 2-1 in as well. Combat trick? They thought for a long time. I don't know if they necessarily have a trick. The greedy thing to do would be to give my leftmost Spectre a counter. But if they can respond somehow to that, it might be better to instead make it indestructible? Because then, even if they give this like +2/+2, I still don't lose anything and their thing dies. But a counter, like if they have nothing, I get a counter, right? Which would be insanely great. I'm gonna try reading it up a little. It looks like they do have something. Okay. So indestructible would have been better. Do I go in with my other flyer? It's kind of nice to have it back as a blocker so that I can kill this if they attack. Because Because if I just swing with these two, like this getting in at me is actually like keeping them stable. Yeah, I think we'll hold these two back. If they attack anyway, do I block? It sort of depends on whether you think their attack means they have a combat trick. I feel like they don't. They were pretty reluctant to use Beaming Defiance, it seemed. And they're pretty reluctant to attack here, whereas if they had, say, Beaming Defiance, they'd be thrilled. So I think we can just block here. And I think they're just making this attack because they need the life gain. That's my hope, anyway. It looks like not. Oh, well, they still get to reorder. I don't know. We don't know if they have an instant yet. It's pausing to give them a chance to reorder blockers. Okay. Kind of sad, but I do get a counter on, I guess, this. I could have put it here. I don't know. I was trying to spread things out again. But I think putting it here would be useful because I'd have a 3/4. Okay, swing with everything. And make an inkling. Planning to village rights when they attack. Well, actually, wait a minute. It has trample, so I would take the full damage anyway. Never mind that. I just won't block. And then next turn I'm threatening 9, which means even their 3 life gain isn't enough. They have to do something about what's on my board. Or gain some life. I can't see how many timeouts opponent has. Looks like 2? The white font is pretty rough. No, if I draw 2 cards, they just make me discard them both. Don't be an idiot. If it was something I could play right now, you know, conceivably that could be meaningful, but I'm not throwing away a 2/1 for nothing. Like, if it were just draw 2 cards, I might take it. But sacrifice a creature to draw 2 cards? No thanks. Okay, there you go. That's how you're not dead on board. Very good. And I'll hit this on my turn instead of theirs, just in case they have some life gain they can't... Some life gain they could trigger, but they don't have enough mana for it. I don't know, it doesn't matter. What am I, like... Yeah. I guess I could have waited. Wait. They have 57 cards in deck? Oh my gosh. Well, that's that card we said is probably not very good. We actually saw it recently. Huh. I mean, I could have held back a blocker and been at 1, but I would then lose, I think. I think it was right to push as much damage as I can in case they have a little life gain. Wow. That was a good card to top deck. I think it was top decked, right? Because they would have used it before if they'd had it before. They had enough mana to do that. And, I don't know, actually. Maybe they chose to play it super risky and just put a counter on last turn so that when they multiplied by 4, it would be lethal. That seems insane, but I guess it could happen. What a play. I don't know. It's a pretty normal play, but like, what a... I mean, like, if you have it in hand, it's like, of course, you don't need to be a genius to find it. But, like, it was quite amazing that they had it. Why do I keep drawing so many planes? I'm running one more planes than Swamp, but... Okay, whatever. Use your combat trick. I don't care about this creature. It's a little annoying that the combat trick leaves them with a counter, of course. But I don't think I should have not blocked just to make that play worse. Also, they missed their land on turn 3. Kind of interesting. I guess I'll get this down first. I don't know. I could maybe play the Sedgemoor Witch just to block, but I don't think so. I think I want this down so that, like, if they kill my flyer, they have to pay. By giving me a counter. Okay. I can just play another one of these guys and a Sedgemoor Witch. I could play an Inkling. I'm not sure how important it really is to be going over the top versus just like being able to block their 3/3. Well, anyway, we swing with these. Oh yeah, I want to play the Sedgemoor Witch before the Inkling summoning because it likes me to play instants and sorceries. Oh, good card. Good card indeed. I have 7 mana. I can bring this guy back and still play a Star Pupil. Or I could just play a Star Pupil and activate the Fen Strider, which is probably better. Not a Fen Strider. I mean, drawing up planes is nice. Mostly just because it thins my deck. I don't really need more mana at this time. It is a Menace 3/2, but there's no good attacks I could make. They would just block these. Making a Pest doesn't do anything. I guess no attacks. That's disgusting. That was like, oh. They're kind of low on tempo because they didn't have much mana, but now suddenly they've got decent tempo, and then suddenly they had a bunch of cards. I hate this. Well, you know, we'll try to draw Mage Hunter's Onslaught to kill the 4/4, and then things will be fine again. Another Fen Strider doesn't really... It's not a Fen Strider. I don't know where I came up with that name. It doesn't really do anything. I should play this Plains, actually, because if I draw a second Plains, I can Inkling Summoning and still hit the Spectre. Wait, yeah, I need one more to be able to do that. I mean, opponent doesn't have that much of a board either. But their 5/4 is a bit of a problem. Ooh, so is that. I think I have to toss the Witch. Is there a 1-mana green buff spell in this format? I don't think so. Is Massive Might in this, or is that a different thing? I think that was Crimson Vow. And believe it or not, I think I put the counter here. So that when I make another one, it can block the 5/5. Putting it on a flyer doesn't really do anything right now. Ugh, and this Amplimancer threatens to get in for a bunch whenever they feel like attacking with it, actually. I wonder if I should have played neither of those and just activated my Spectre this turn. I assume they have some life gain in there, though. If they're playing, like, blue-green and also maybe some black. Really? Doll has Trample, that's true. We'll see what they spend their mana on. One damage to all creatures would be pretty strong. I don't think that's in this format. I'm just remarking, like, look, I have all these. Ooh, get to cast something twice. Wow. What's it gonna be? Big play? Okay, snakeskin. Yikes. I mean, all their stuff lives. Obviously, this was a pretty, like, greedy block in a sense, in that it like works best if they play nothing, which never really happens. And if they have any combat tricks, I'm exposed, even with like just +1/+1. I didn't really expect 2 of them. I guess I'm dead. This is an absolute truckload of trample damage, right? How big is that? 3, 6, 9, 11, 17 trample damage? I don't think I can take it. Two wins, huh? Is that what I got? I'm so bad at this game. Doesn't seem like I'm bad. Everything I do is amazing and smart, but I always lose, so you kind of have to draw the conclusion that I might be bad at the game. Okay, I'm like dead. Well, maybe not. With no combat tricks, I do live. Wait, why didn't you just... well, it would have been 3 more. Yeah. Okay, you did miss lethal then. You could have done this first, and then... no, but you couldn't have activated this. Okay. Is this my 3rd? Do I run 3 of these? I didn't even realize I had 3. Doesn't really matter so much, because I am dead. So, let's imagine we could live, right? What are they attacking for? 8, 13, 15, all of it trample. I would need 9, 10 health worth of creatures to live. They do have. But I can't afford to make any blocks that are smaller than my creatures. Like, I can't afford that, for example. So, well, let's... maybe not. I can do that. And that. Oh, and I can't actually block sufficiently then. I can't spread my creatures out enough to block this damage. Hang on. What if I chumped this and put these guys here? That lives, right? I get in for 1, 5. It's like the most embarrassing block you could imagine. All I need is Wrath of God and also like 5 more cards and I should be good. you played right into my Wrath of God. How much did that card cost when it was printed anyway? Like in terms of mana, not in terms of money. 10th edition? 4 mana. Yeah. But it was printed before that, wasn't it? Sets and Legality? It was like a very early card, I thought. Yeah, limited edition alpha. Four mana kill everything is like pretty good, I think. Anyway, that'll do it. 2 wins, another resounding defeat, worse than the last, as I recall. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.